Elon Musk had always been a man of grand visions. From revolutionizing the automotive industry with Tesla to pushing the boundaries of space exploration with SpaceX, his life was a testament to the power of relentless ambition and innovation. Yet amidst the whirlwind of technological advancements and corporate milestones, there was a side of Elon that few truly understood. A side driven not just by the desire to innovate, but by a deep-seated need to make a tangible difference in the world. It was a crisp autumn morning in 2025 when Elon found himself standing on the edge of a vast, barren landscape in the heart of Africa. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a golden hue over the desolate terrain. This was no ordinary visit. Elon had come to witness the culmination of a project that had been years in the making, a project that had the potential to change the lives of millions. The story of how Elon came to be here began several years earlier, in the aftermath of a devastating drought that had swept across East Africa. The drought had left millions without access to clean water, leading to widespread famine and disease. Images of emaciated children and parched landscapes had flooded the news, sparking global outrage and calls for action. For Elon, it was a call he couldn't ignore. He had always believed that technology could solve some of the world's most pressing problems, but this was different. This wasn't about building faster cars or sending rockets to Mars. This was about saving lives. And so, with characteristic determination, Elon set out to do what he did best: innovate. The birth of AquaGenesis. The project, dubbed AquaGenesis, was ambitious even by Elon's standards. The goal was simple yet audacious: to create a self-sustaining water purification and distribution system that could provide clean water to some of the most remote and arid regions on Earth. The system would harness solar energy to power advanced desalination and filtration units, capable of turning even the most contaminated water sources into potable water. But that was just the beginning. Elon envisioned a network of modular, mobile units that could be deployed rapidly in response to crises. These units would not only provide immediate relief, but also serve as the foundation for long-term water infrastructure. The idea was to empower local communities by giving them the tools to manage their own water resources, thereby breaking the cycle of dependency on external aid. The journey to bring AquaGenesis to life was fraught with challenges. The technology itself was groundbreaking, requiring innovations in solar power, desalination, and modular design. But the real hurdles lay in the logistics of deployment and the need to navigate complex political and social landscapes. Elon knew that technology alone wasn't enough. Success would depend on collaboration with governments, NGOs, and local communities. One of the key turning points came during a meeting with a group of African leaders in Nairobi. Elon had flown in to present the AquaGenesis concept, hoping to secure their support. The reception was mixed. Some leaders were skeptical, questioning whether an outsider like Elon could truly understand their needs. Others were intrigued but wary of the potential for unintended consequences. It was during this meeting that Elon had an epiphany. He realized that for AquaGenesis to succeed, it couldn't be just another top-down initiative. It had to be a partnership, one that respected and leveraged the knowledge and expertise of the people it aimed to serve. This realization led to a fundamental shift in the project's approach. Instead of simply deploying technology, Elon and his team began working closely with local communities to co-design solutions that were tailored to their specific needs. Overcoming challenges. Scaling AquaGenesis wasn't as simple as manufacturing more units. Each region had unique challenges: geographical, political, and logistical. Some areas lacked the infrastructure to transport the units, while others faced bureaucratic red tape that slowed deployment. To overcome these obstacles, Elon's team devised an innovative distribution model. They partnered with local entrepreneurs, providing microfinancing to establish community-led water hubs. Instead of a centralized system, AquaGenesis would function as a decentralized network, empowering small business owners to maintain and distribute clean water. In Ethiopia, a young engineer named Lema saw an opportunity. With the help of Tesla's solar panels, he created a self-sustaining water station in his village. Within months, surrounding communities began replicating his model. It was proof that AquaGenesis wasn't just a technological marvel, it was a movement. But the road wasn't without setbacks. In Sudan, one of the mobile units was vandalized by militants who opposed foreign intervention. A few months later, a flood in Mozambique damaged several installations, setting progress back. Elon was undeterred. "We don't quit," he told his team during a late-night strategy meeting. "If we're serious about changing the world, we have to be ready for resistance." Bridging innovation with tradition. As Elon spent more time in Africa, he developed a deep respect for the indigenous knowledge systems that had sustained these communities for centuries. In Kenya, the Maasai elders introduced him to ancient water harvesting techniques that relied on underground reservoirs. Inspired, AquaGenesis engineers integrated these methods into their systems, combining tradition with cutting-edge technology. In the Sahara, Tuareg nomads used their deep understanding of the desert to identify hidden water sources. AquaGenesis deployed AI-powered sensors to map these locations, ensuring that water distribution was optimized. This collaborative approach not only improved AquaGenesis but also strengthened trust. Where once he was seen as an outsider, Elon was now viewed as an ally in the fight for water security. A global awakening. As news of AquaGenesis spread, global leaders took notice. The World Health Organization endorsed the project, calling it one of the most significant humanitarian innovations of the decade. The United Nations invited Elon to speak at a summit on climate resilience. In his speech, Elon didn't talk about rockets or electric cars. Instead, he spoke about a little girl he had met in Uganda. Her name was Amina, and before AquaGenesis, she walked 10 kilometers every day to fetch water for her family. That water was often contaminated, making her and her siblings sick. "Now," Elon said, pausing to let the weight of his words sink in, "Amina goes to school instead." The audience erupted in applause, but Elon wasn't interested in accolades. He wanted action. Mars can wait. Earth comes first. For years, critics had accused Elon of focusing too much on Mars while Earth still faced existential threats. AquaGenesis was his answer. Some SpaceX investors questioned his priorities, worried that he was diverting resources from interplanetary ambitions. Elon's response was characteristically blunt. "If we can't solve problems here, we have no business trying to colonize another planet." But in truth, Elon saw a connection between the two. The water purification technologies developed for AquaGenesis could one day be used in Martian colonies. Every innovation had a dual purpose: saving lives on Earth while preparing humanity for the stars. The final frontier, a self-sustaining future. By 2028, AquaGenesis had provided clean water to over 100 million people. Yet Elon wasn't satisfied. The real measure of success wasn't how many units they deployed, but whether the system could sustain itself without external intervention. To achieve this, Tesla Energy launched the AquaGenesis Solar Grid, a network of micropower stations that allowed remote villages to generate and sell excess solar energy. This revenue model ensured that communities could maintain their own water systems without relying on foreign aid. In Ghana, a young entrepreneur named Kwame used the profits from his solar station to open a school. In Madagascar, a women-led cooperative reinvested their earnings into local farming projects. AquaGenesis wasn't just about water anymore. It was about economic transformation. Elon's legacy. As Elon watched the sun set over one of the first fully self-sustaining AquaGenesis hubs, he reflected on his journey. He had built cars that reshaped industries, rockets that reached the stars, and AI that pushed the limits of human potential. But this was different. This was the moment he knew he had truly changed the world.